What's up guys, my name is JDCut5 and welcome to the Chelsea versus Arsenal preview. Before we do get into this video, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you never miss a video. 80% of you that watch my videos are currently unsubscribed to the channel. It is completely free to do so and it helps me out a complete bunch. Chelsea versus Arsenal, a massive London derby at the Bridge which brings all attention to this game after some hectic fixtures as of late. Chelsea coming off the back, obviously, against a frantic 8-0 win against Armenian side Noah, and Arsenal coming off the back against a 1-0 defeat against Inter Milan. The stats say it's quite equal, and so does the table. We're level on points with Arsenal at the moment, just edging in fourth due to goal difference, and there's confidence is high in the team. It's a very difficult fixture to realistically be able to predict and so on. It's going to be a very, very tough game, that has to be said. The previous meeting set it for itself in terms of how Arsenal have dominated over the time and recent years, it has to be said, and our recent form against them hasn't been too good, but I'll get into that over time. As I said, it's a really, really interesting fixture, and obviously we're coming at it to a point where we've actually gone for a decent unbeaten run. And just kind of pulling some decent results together and so on. So it's whether we can realistically put this into that game against Arsenal. We've never really favoured that well against them, I have to say. It's been a real tough match to realistically kind of go on and do. We haven't actually collected any clean sheets at home either, which kind of worries me with the attacking forces that Arsenal do have. But the confidence is still high. Obviously, we've got some doubts with injuries and so on. Cole Palmer is out, I do believe. I don't think he'll be making any return anytime soon for that game, and Jadon Sancho will not be returning. In terms of Arsenal's injuries, they've got a fair few. Havertz needs to be kind of assessed after that nasty head clash he had against Inter Milan. California is out with his knee. Tomiyasu is out with his knee. Tierney's out with a hamstring, and Raheem Sterling cannot face his parent club with Declan Rice also a particular doubt with a broken toe. So with all of them in the mix, you just never know realistically what you get, but unfortunately when you support Chelsea you never know what you're going to get. But I'm hopeful at least, but it's the case of I just don't know if we're realistically going to get a result against a top side like Arsenal, and it's about time that we did get a result against a big team, because obviously we've played a few big teams this season and I will come out second best in fairness. Obviously we've had a draw against United, we've lost against Liverpool, and we lost against City. Retrospectively, looking at where we started last season compared to this, I mean we've had massive bounce back, but at the same time there still is room for improvement. Looking at our opposition's form, it's fair to say that it's been fairly mixed over the time. As you can see, only 2 wins and 6 in all competitions, and it's been very strange to how Arsenal's form has deteriorated over the time. So is Mikel Arteta being found out? I'm not too sure, in fairness. I mean, he's a great manager and he's been coming under some real kind of doubts as of the moment. I don't know why, in fairness, because he's brought this Arsenal side to nowhere near like to where Arsene Wenger could do in X amount of years. So fair play to Arteta. But yeah, recently just haven't really been able to kind of get that much going. Obviously they lost in the week against Inter Milan, they lost on the weekend prior to that against Newcastle, they had a midweek win against Preston North End but couldn't really seem to do anything against Liverpool, a 1-0 win against Shakhtar Donetsk but wasn't realistically convincing, and then that 2-0 defeat against Bournemouth where they had a man sent off. Looking at this is realistically the time that we should pounce on this and really do something about it, but Chelsea being Chelsea, they never do. If we do what we need to do, then we can realistically keep up into the top 4, and that's the funny thing about it. Where we're obviously level on points and it's so tight, depending on the results. Obviously Nottingham Forest has got to play Newcastle. Realistically we could actually have it where we do go on to a decent run here and actually conjure up some points to stay in that top 4. And I think if we do get a result against Arsenal, and I think that would really solidify a certain option to stay in that top 4, and there's no reason why we shouldn't get Champions League football this season. As I mentioned, Arsenal's form in recent years against Chelsea has been pretty superior. Overall, we've had 209 meetings, we've won 66 of them, drawn 59 and lost 84. In the last 5, we've only drawn 1 and lost 4 though, which is very kind of concerning in some respect. we've always been better at home against them, but at the same time, that's not good enough because we haven't been able to get the results. Last season, we went 2-0 up and flopped it 2-0 thanks to Robert Sanchez giving it away to Declan Rice and a Leonardo Trossard equaliser at the end. I'd love to change them numbers and get a win, but looking at the stats and looking at the head-to-heads, that's the only thing that puts me off. The recent form of Arsenal is very concerning for themselves, but at the same time, when they play against us, they seem to get a result. So it's time for a change, and it's time to change it to some wins. Here is my lineup prediction for the game against Arsenal. One change in the team. Robert Sanchez in goal. He's going to go with Sanchez. I still don't think he's good enough, but at the end of the day, if he wants to put him in goal, then that's the manager's decision. Reece James is a left back. We've seen this quite often as of late, and it seems to be that he's developed a new position. Gusto is probably not the best to have on the left back, and James seems to have developed more on that side. Ideally, I'd play James on the right and Cucurella on the left, but this seems to be what he's been going with, James on the left and Gusto on the right-hand side. Fofana and Colwill have been a very good partnership as of late, and it seems to be they've been really working well, and there's no reason why we should change that going with the centre-backs. Midfield, we've really found a combination with Lavia and Caicedo. Caicedo's absolute stellar performance against Man United last week was just unbelievable. The goal, everything was just sublime. Looking back on it, kind of reminiscing of how we used to have N'Golo Kante in the middle. So have we found that little gem in the middle? We always seem to do so, but the pairing themselves are absolutely ace. I think Lavia and Caicedo really work well together, and they kind of represent themselves so well in that sort of role. We've struggled over the recent years to be able to find a real kind of leader in that sort of retrospect, and we've really have done so now. Fernandes is going to struggle to get into the team if Lavia and Caicedo keep up the way they do, so that's my midfield two. Going forward, Neto on the left, his performances of late has been absolutely brilliant. He was rested against Noah, and there's no reason why he shouldn't start that game. On the right hand side, Noni Madueke, I'd love to see him get a goal and kind of rejuvenate some sort of confidence, because we've seen it at the start of the season. As the season's gone on, we've just kind of not seen the Noni Madueke that we know that is there. But again, realistically, you'd probably start him over João, unless he wants to start João because he had a great game against Noah. It just don't really seem to be that he gets many starts in the Premier League. In the middle, Christopher and Cuckoo, due to the fact that Cole Palmer is injured, I don't really. I think if he's gonna play, I think he's gonna come off the bench. I don't know. It's all a bit unknown. They could all of a sudden just put him on the team sheet. This is one of those, but we don't know as of yet. And up front, Nicholas Jackson. That's completing with a 4-2-3-1 formation. I feel like that's the best going forward, in fairness. And then again, Nkuku can start at the same time, and he's got goals in him. He's scored 10 goals already this season. I know it's in the Conference League and cup fixtures, but at the end of the day, he's worthy of it. And so, yeah, realistically, that would be my starting lineup. Now, finally, here is my score prediction. I'm going for Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. Exact same result as last season. I don't see a winner, but I just see a battle between the two. There's both defence leaks goals. We haven't kept a clean sheet at home this season as of yet, which is really concerning, it has to be said. And at the same time, it's just going to be a tough game, isn't it? They've got many people in front that can do the job. And it's just the case of waiting to see. It depends who they play, who they can start, injuries and so on, but I would go for a 2-2. I'd love to win, I really would. I can't stand Arsenal, to be honest, so I would really like a victory and being able to kind of get one up on them after the recent results of late haven't really gone our way against Arsenal. But yeah, this would do us a massive solid in terms of being able to go forward in the season, because realistically, when you look at it, if we're able to get a result against Arsenal, I know we've got a tough December. I think we've got Aston Villa, Tottenham. So yes, this would be a start, and I think this would get the ball rolling in terms of what Enzo Maresca really wants to do at the club, because he is building something special. It's just whether he can continue it, especially against the big sides. But we'll wait and see. I'll have a review after the game. You have to bear with me because I will be at the fixture, so I will have that up in time on the day. Just give me a few hours after the result. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoy the game if you are watching it. Hopefully we will be enjoying the game, but that is it. As I mentioned, please like and subscribe for more content, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you never miss a video. Cheers.